had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. But Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Knight Anthony, and welcome to episode 2 of our Kingdom Come Deliverance adventure. As you see, I started a little earlier so you guys could see the entrance, because I forgot, even though, you know, it was the first episode last time, I forgot to show you guys that. So that was just a bit of the lore behind the game. So let's get into this. For any of you that need a refresher, we are Henry. We lived in Skalitz, a small mining town, and we were attacked by Sigismund of Hungary and his horde of soldiers. So we're now escaping from my village. And yeah, that's where we left off. So as you can see, the whole countryside is being burned. You can hear people screaming in the distance, but I'm just trying to escape. You see these people? Okay. That lady was just getting attacked by those people. So, well, now we got a horse and we gotta run. But before we left Skalitz, we just got to the gate in time for the guards to give us instructions, and they told us to ride on a horse, find a horse, and ride to Talmberg to warn the others. As you can see, that we just took a arrow to the ham, or not the hamstring, the thigh. So yeah. We're bleeding, so we have to quickly get to Talberg before anything bad happens. Look at this scene. It's just a massacre. These people have no chance, and they're just ganging up on them. I mean, these people had no chance because they had no weapons. But, you know, now they have no weapons, and it's 3-1.
Hamburg is to the left, along the stream.
So, as you can see, our horse can get tired, so we're gonna have to let it canter instead of galloping as fast as we can. There's still some poor people, or some poor souls, that haven't, you know, been warned, and they're just getting, like, a lot of these people are just waking up this morning, and they just see this army coming after them, so. Luckily for me, I have a horse, but they don't.
Warn the others! They've tore at Skalitz!
But I'm just telling them that, but I don't think they have a chance to, they don't have an option to live. I mean, like, it's gonna be hard to run.
Warn the others! They've tore at Skalitz!
Hopefully we get to Talberg soon, so because I'm bleeding, I really need some help. And I just keep getting hit because my horse has to recover stamina.
Run for it!
Oh. As you see, my health is slowly but surely going down. Oh my, there he is. As you can see in the distance, that's Talberg Castle. If we get there, we should be safe behind its walls.
Quickly, everyone! Get your asses here!
Hey! And loose! Hanyo! Who's in there?
Quickly! We're closing the gate!
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you, and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours. Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that arrow out. Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. As good as new.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage? Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Kuttenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
Alright, so we're lucky. We're lucky that Sir Robard and Sir Divish have given us, or well, we're lucky that Sir Robard got archers out there and they were able to stop the Cumans from chasing me. And we're lucky that Sir Divish is letting us stay inside of Talmberg. So we should be safe here. They have showed great hospitality so far, so it's good. Alright. This is the second city we've discovered in this game. Or town. I think it's town. I think they're all towns. None of them are really cities. But look at Sir Robard's armor. That is just beautiful craftsmanship. We have the pauldrons, the cuirass. The gauntlets are okay. The chasses. Ooh.
Oi,
those are that's some good art.
What in heaven's name happened there?
What? Anyways, the chassis,
like
great craftsman.
It was a fine sun.
Oh, no.
I ran to the castle for shelter with the others. Behind me I could hear the shouts of the attackers and the screams of the wounded. Then I turned and saw father trying to save mother. They were both killed. The gate was closed by then. The men on the battlements were calling to me to run and warn you here. And with God's help I made it.
My God. That's horrible. You were lucky to survive. And our thanks for warning us. I'll pray that you see better times.
Alright,
I
cool.
have to eat something. My insides are
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach.
This is true. This is true. When I'm depressed, I just eat.
must
I heard about your father.
eat.
They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the country.
This is-
I
Yeah,
don't
but
understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm
did you
sure
see in the cutscene?
he had a
The whole village came to see what happened, so a lot of the village know who I am now. So I can imagine that put some of the people on edge, like, oh, Sigmund's coming for us next. But we'll see. Yeah.
Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bozhena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, yes. Thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
How generous of them. I'm just some random guy from Skalitz, the blacksmith's son, and they automatically just give me food. Like, that lady was like insisting that I have food, or no, not food. That I have a better a better sleeping area. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. Oh, it looks like we've been prepared a noble course. Now, doesn't this just look fantastic? Let me start off with some cheese, little mash, maybe a little bit of roast duck to help wash it down, and finally, let's finish off with some wine. Now, as you can see, bottom right, next to the...
Please, tell me what happened at Skalitz. I have kin there.
This dude just dropped his bowl. Everybody wants to know. Hold up.
I can tell you what happened, but I don't understand why. We were just going about our usual business when the soldiers came and began their slaughter. Anyone who couldn't flee to the castle was cut down. They destroyed everything. It's a miracle I escaped with my life.
Yeah. As you can see, as I was saying, as you can see in the bottom right, you have bottom right, or bottom, you have the health bar. Go to the right, you see the bed icon, meaning I'm tired. And to the next right, or one more right over, is the, what's it called? Overeating debuff. So I'm gonna be more sluggish, you know. So yeah, I overate a little, and go down to the health bar, look to the left, and you'll see I do have a little bit of drunk. I am a little drunk, a little bit of drunkenness because of that wine, but it's good because I've had a rough day. Now I'm gonna go to sleep and get my mind off things. Finally get a good rest. I've never rode a horse, but I can imagine it's pretty tiring, especially, I mean, I was like scrambling from Skalitz trying to escape. Like my life was on the line there. But yeah. We get woken up in the middle of the night, as you can see. Like I said, I was gonna wake up at like 6, but then it just stopped in the middle of my timer, meaning something's happening to wake me up.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
You might be right.
So, Lady Stephanie came to my,
it was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like
what did
any
they
other.
say this was? It's like,
Father sent me into
it's not an
town
inn,
with
it's, I don't know, she came to where I was staying.
A fellow by the name of Kunish owed money to Father.
Yeah, and she gave me some wine, and she wants me to tell her the story, so, yeah.
But Kunish still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig himself came to have a look at it. He praised Father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town. A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
So we're just trying to tell her a story, successfully, all the way through, so we can, I don't know, convince her, I guess.
And then I saw him knocking down one Cuman after another, and never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour,
Saw father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
You poor boy. May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle. I needed a horse to get to the safety of Talmberg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Alright, looks like we successfully did that
How could something like
conversation.
that happen?
God alone knows why he let such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors he went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years? And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen,
Talk, Henry.
we're gonna have to end this stream
night.
early.
And God bless.
Good night.
It's just because I have a plan for every episode and what I want to do. But this was just a quick stream because I felt like I needed to do it. But I will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.